FA1 Part B. Recording and Accounting for Cash Transactions. Chapter 9. Recording Payments. The topics that this presentation will cover are 1. Controls over recording payments. 2. The cash book, recording payments. 3. Posting cash payments to the general ledger. 4. Automatic credit systems. 1. The controls over recording payments are important, in order to avoid fraud, and to ensure completeness. In order to avoid fraud, all payments need to be authorized. Proper checks need to be made against all the supporting documents for a payment. There needs to be segregation of duties, which means that the person that writes out the checks must not be the same person that records the payments. At the end of the day, a list of the payments made that day should be sent to a senior member in the company to check for unusual payments. They should investigate any unusual payments that they find. A minimum amount of checkbooks should be kept and in use at one time, preferably only one checkbook, to reduce the chance of the checkbook falling into the wrong hands. In order to ensure completeness, regular bank reconciliations need to take place. A bank reconciliation is an important control when dealing with payments. The checks that are issued should be issued in sequence. There needs to be a sequence check done on the checks that are entered into the cash book, and it should not be done by the person who records the checks. There needs to be a regular check done on the bank statements, to ensure that all the payments, by direct debits and standing orders have been recorded, along with any bank charges and interest. Stop the lecture. Answer the questions on page 189 of your interactive text study guide. 2. An analysis of the payments in the cash book helps control the expenditure of the business. The analysis depends on the categories of purchases, the frequency in which they purchase the goods in each category, the way that the business has set up its different departments and divisions, and how complicated the cash book is. Discount allowed and discount received are recorded in a memorandum column in the cash book, because they do not affect the total cash received or paid. They are recorded in the cash book, to show why the full amount of the invoice that is due, is not being paid or received. For a list of the types of payments that are recorded in the cash book, and the treatment of those payments in the cash book, see the table on page 191 of your interactive text study guide. 3. When posting cash payments from the cash book to the general ledger, the same procedure used in posting cash receipts needs to be followed. Step 1. Add up all the columns on the payments side of the cash book. Step 2. Check that the totals of the analysis column, excluding the discount received column, add up to the total paid column. Step 3. Identify the general ledger accounts which are going to be used and posted to, and mark against the cash book amounts. Step 4. Draw up a posting summary and post to the general ledger. The effects of a computerized cash book in connection with payments is the same as it is for receipts. So when you update the payable ledger with a payment in a computerized system, the cash book will get updated automatically. In some computerized systems, the payables function also records and issues checks. The information that is needed to make out a check from the payables ledger is the supplier code in the payables ledger, the amount that is being paid, and the date of the check. The payables ledger program will then perform these tasks. Have the check printed out, ready to be signed. It will update the balance of the supplier's account in the payable ledger. It will update the cash book with the check. It may also update the total payables account in the general ledger. The printed list of checks issued should be kept as a record, in case there are any queries on the payment. 4. Automated credit systems are a useful way for a business to make and record payments, as they save the business time. They operate an electronic funds transfer, EFT, between bank accounts. The main advantage of an automated credit system is that it reduces paperwork involved in payments. For an example on the procedure that would be followed when using an automatic credit system, See page 196 of your interactive text study guide. Stop the lecture. Answer the questions on page 196, 198, and 199 of your interactive text study guide. This is the end of Chapter 9. What will follow next is the quick quiz. After the quick quiz, do the online questions for Part B, Chapter 9. It will be good practice because the online questions are set out like the exam that you do at the end of the course. They will also test your knowledge of this chapter. Quick quiz. Question 1. What procedure would identify an unauthorized payment not entered in the cash book? Question 2. What other controls will help to prevent fraud involving payments? Question 3. Discounts received are shown in a memorandum column in the cash book. True or false? Question 4. What useful function is possible using a computerized payables ledger? Question 5. What are the advantages of receiving returned checks? After doing the quick quiz, do the online questions for Part B, Chapter 9. Do the questions, until you achieve 80%. Replay the lecture as needed.